doing a lot of things. And even when it was slow last year, not giving up and staying out there, staying in front of people, a lot of social media, teaching classes, just, doing all the things and doubling down on my marketing and reaching out and just staying in the game and not giving up. Just working really hard.
Gotcha. Do you feel is it staying top of mind with the people that already know, like, and trust? Like when you say doubling down, can you go a little deeper on that?
Yeah, I mean, I love social media, and I'm very big on social media in terms of like my clients, my realtors. So every loan that we get, every deal that goes into process, we immediately go out and my team finds them on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and we connect to them. We get our arms around them. So clients and realtors, and a lot of these people are already in my social for years, just from doing this for so many years, doing what I just said. And then, 10 years later, I'm still talking to clients. Oh, your daughter won the swim meet. You just had a baby. Oh, whatever their life's changes are, I can see those things. We stay in contact. And then, they feel like we're friends, and we are friends through social, which is the best part of social. I know some people hate it. I love it for that reason, because I feel like you can't stay in contact with 5,000 people on a daily basis, but you can through social. And so love that piece. We also do weekly emails to our clients and realtor database with videos in those emails. And then we do some client events every year, and we teach a lot of classes to realtors, sending out snail mail, really cool postcards that we try to do quarterly. So just all the things, and I know when it got slow last year, a lot of people just put their head in the sand and thought, oh, I'll just take some time off. And that was the time that we really stayed in front of people even more so than ever. So that now when people are ready to do things, we are top of mind.
This is so cool. This is exactly, so just to break what down, you said a lot like that. That was really cool. So so every time you get somebody, your team, I want everybody to hear this. If you're not listening and not paying attention, so not you specifically, if you're talking to a client, your team takes them, goes, finds them wherever they're at.
Yep.
Connects with them. Do they do a DM or, hey, so nice to connect with you, look forward to working with you, everything?
Yeah, we don't DM them. We probably could or should. That's a good idea. Thanks, Scott. No, we don't do that right away because we don't want to come off aggressive and stocky, but we do. I have an opener who opens a file, and that's where we order the title and the, insurance and the condo doc, whatever it is we have to order. And that's where we have a whole marketing plan. And there's several steps to that. So one of them is that she does that. She goes out and finds them, and we find them on their platform. Not, some people are on Instagram, depending on their age, depending on their profession. They might be on LinkedIn if they're, an attorney or CPA, or they might be on Facebook. So we look for them on all those platforms, and we try to, friend them or follow them or whatever it is on that platform. And we don't get all of them, and that's okay. But I would say 70% of the people respond, and that's great. But that stays out there. So sometimes by the end of the close, by the time we get to closing, they've responded. And then it's great because if we have at our closing, I can tag them and it goes to their sphere, which is wonderful. But then it continues. That relationship is just starting, and that's where it continues. So the team does that. And then we do some other things on that marketing piece once they go into process as well. So they get, we have a 2-prong marketing piece where we send them a lottery scratch ticket, and then they get a coffee card at the end. And we go out to the buyer's agent if we don't know them. Usually a lot of them are referred to us, and the listing agent. And the listing agent gets a postcard that says, we're your 911 lender. Let us be your plan B. So there's a whole thing. We do it. We have a whole plan. And then it goes all the way through processing and then post-closing for life.
Post-closing for life. I love that. Devin, did you love that? Post-closing for life.
Sick.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta love on those people, right?
So is there... I was just going to say, is there a play on the 911? I love everything you're saying. It's no wonder you're doing good. So I love the play on the 911 lender. Tell me a little bit about the mindset behind that.
Yeah. I mean, if they're a listing agent that we don't know or we don't work with, or even a buyer's agent who we don't know, my philosophy has always been, you have 30 days ish you're on an interview for 30 days. Every deal is the ability to build more business and get more deals down the future. Deals beget deals. And so when you get a new loan, the first thing, my team does is we have my production partner, Diamond, immediately sends an email to both agents, to the borrower, the buyer, congratulating them. We have a cute graphic, like, you're under contract, yay. And we go to the listing agent and we're like, we're going to be, we want to stay in contact with you throughout this process. A couple questions for them. Same thing for buyer's agent. Let us know as soon as when is your inspection scheduled, keep us apprised, all that kind of stuff. So we do that right away. But you're on an interview for 30 days. And so for us, it's like, we want to always put our best foot forward and just be amazing, because in order to build a business, you have to do a few things. You have to wow them up front. You have to wow them during the process. And then you have to stay in front of them for life, because even if you stay in front of them, but you did a crappy job, they're not going to come back to you. And if you do an amazing job and you don't stay in front of them, they're not going to come back to you. So it's like all those things have to happen consecutively. It can't be just one of those pieces.
Gotcha. I love it. Yeah. So in a lot of what I heard was you're keeping the human aspect of the equation, like in this process, you're being human, you're putting yourself out there, you're following them on social. That's where I think you're always going to be ahead of the AI game, which is cool.
Yeah. It's definitely a relationship piece. I mean, I think people that use their company to do all their posting, that you're really missing out. Our company is great. We have a great marketing department, and they do a lot of very personalized social for me. Like, they take, our company does social for the whole company in terms of like creating content for the month. But I do some personal stuff where they take, I do different content photo shoots and whatnot, and they'll take my content and blend it with some of their pieces, and then they'll make some of my own private pieces. But my point is, yes, there's some help with posting and whatnot. I have a separate person that does that, but then you have to be engaged. I still have to be on there every day and talking and commenting and paying attention and putting out my own personal stuff that's going on in my life. When I'm coaching real estate agents, I always tell them, listen, you cannot be a private agent. You have to be, people want to know in this day and age, they want to know who you are. They want to know that they like you and that they would want to work with you. They need to understand who you are, and not everybody's for everybody, and that's okay. But your brand is the most important thing that you can protect and build and curate and really just nurture.
Yeah. And it's funny, Todd, I was going to ask that question next. What does your team look like? How big is, he says, how many people on your team, Todd asked?
On my team. So we have an opener, I have a production partner, and I have a processor. So those would be my three key people that are on my team. And then as an extension of me, of course, is like our marketing department within our corporate situation. And then, we have a disclosure department and we have an underwriting department, but they're not necessarily my team. My team would be the opener, my production partner, and my processor.
So three, like really, and your husband's 100% separate.
He does his own. Yeah.
He's like,
but we share those same. He shares the processor, the opener, and the production partner.
Gotcha.
And my production partner, Diamond, is also, she helps me with a lot of like event stuff. So between her and my opener, they kind of tag team that, and that's a whole nother story. She helps me with a lot of those things, as well as like classes and my videos weekly that we get out. She helps me queue those up for marketing to get them into the CRM and all that.
And I could sit here all day. All right. So knowing what you know now, who would be, like, if you had I dropped you in a state, didn't know anybody, who you started building up momentum, who's your first hire? Like who is that?
I think that's really a loose, it really depends on you and your strengths. I always think that people need to hire what their weaknesses are. And, you have to evaluate what you do on a daily basis. So I always tell people, like, write down what you do, start to finish. And again, when I coach realtors, I tell them the same thing. Write down every single thing you do. From the minute you get a lead, what do you do? Do you call them? Do you, every single step. and do that for, a few days a week. So you can kind of figure out what you do all day. And then you need to do those 4 quadrants of like, what am I good at, but I don't really make money doing it. And it's kind of takes a lot of time. What am I good at that really that's where I make my money. That's me. That's where I'm in my genius zone. What do I hate doing and I suck at it? And what do I hate to, so that you have to do that first. And then you really have to figure out your flow. So we've created a whole booklet. Like we've got our literal like file flow from start to finish. And from the minute we did that, it was like, who assigned somebody to each of those tasks. So your first hire really needs to be, what are you really weak at and someone else is really great at? Or what takes a lot of your time and isn't your best and highest use of your time. So for me, I'm really strong in underwriting, conversion, converting the client, all those pieces. So when we were really crushing it, in 21, 22, like that's when I was closing, 50, 60 loans a month because everybody, loans were like falling from the sky. I had two like LOAs that literally took the lead, structured it, sold it, did all those things. But when it got slower last year, I didn't need that person. And really that was the time for us to like roll up our sleeves, get back in the business in terms of like getting into the nitty gritty and really doing all the hard things, and it kind of sucked and we had to build those muscles again. But it was great. It was such a great thing because I had to really get down into those files, do the conversion. So for me, where my holes were like, I want to do the converting. I want to structure the loan because that's my strength. I'm really fast at it. I'm really good at it. I know the guidelines. I know how to sell the deal. I know how to build those relationships and really like lock in the client. But once those docs come in, like I want to push that file on and I don't want to see it again until closing. Yes, I'll pop in and out. I'm on all the emails all the way through the process. But, I hand it off to my production partner and it goes from there. So I like doing that upfront piece. But some people aren't good at building the business. They need a business development person. And some people aren't good at the underwriting and the guidelines. So they need a really strong LOA. So it really kind of depends on what you're good at.
Cool.
Does that make
sense?
Love
that answer. That was 100% great answer. Yeah. The triad of awesomeness. I love that exercise. So you should do that like every 90 days just to make sure you're in the triad of awesomeness. So very cool. You've brought up a couple times you coach your agents, you teach agents in classes and stuff. Tell me a little bit about that. Like how does that take place?
Yeah, well, a couple of avenues there. So I do have an MSA that I have had for a few years now. I think we're on our 4th year, and it's a local brokerage. They have 4 offices here. But funny enough, I'd worked with this office for a long time, probably 15 years plus. And when they decided they wanted a preferred lender, I was one of the choices, mainly just because of my history with them and whatnot. So I already had a relationship, but it gives me an opportunity, once a month to do their sales meetings, once a month to teach a class, and then some other stuff, that I do with them. So that's kind of that's where I really love to like spend a lot of my time because I love these realtors. I have friendships with them. I've built relationships with them, which is my favorite thing. I always tell people, work with people you love. It makes it so much easier and more fun. But then in addition, I'll do classes through the title companies. And I work with, I don't know if you know, there's another coach out there that creates classes and sells them. So what's that?
Is it Jeff?
Jeff Zimfer, yeah.
Yeah, Jen Zimfer, yeah. He's been on class.
So I work with him in terms of like, I get his courses and I use a lot of those to teach, but then I also create my own. Like last week, my MSA said, we want a class on pivoting to a buyer's market. We want to talk about agents need to pivot to a buyer's market right now. And how do they do it? What should they do? So I created the class. And then one of their managing brokers and I co-led that class. So just, really staying in front of agents and really coaching them and helping them with marketing, with using their CRM, with building a database, with all the things. How do you do the perfect open house? How do you, all the things.
Love it. That's so cool. Yeah. So you're not only an underwriter, you're techie, you're a teacher, coach, like well-rounded. Try it.
I could do whatever.
There you go.
I can do all the
that.
things.
Love that. Yeah. All right. You brought up one of my personal favorites, video marketing on a weekly basis, every week.
Yeah. So, well, what we do is we have a videographer who comes in, and some people don't love that. And I get it. Like some people are like, no, make it raw, do it from your phone. And I do some of that. And I used to do a lot more of it, like in my car on the fly, I did a lot of that. But we also do this because for me, it's really easy. I can have somebody come in, we have a green room, and I'll shoot, like last month I shot, I think I did 16 videos. So he comes in for an hour, hour and a half, just boom, 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 figure out my scripts, figure out what I want to talk about. I did I think I did 12 shorter, 2 minute or under, or a minute and a half or under. And then I did like 5 long form, like 5-6 minutes. So, cause those are better for YouTube. YouTube likes those. Mm-hmm. And then he goes away, so I like bring 3 outfit changes. I've got all my scripts. He comes in, I just knock it out. He goes back, they edit it all, and then they drop it into a Dropbox for us. And then we can take those, and then simultaneously Diamond, my production partner, who actually helps me, like I told you, with some of my stuff like that, she'll take, this is a whole thing. So I'm kind of type A about this. So what I do is I want my thumbnail to match the outfit in the video.
Nice.
So, I told you I do like content photo shoots. So I usually do those once a quarter. So I'll do like 3 different outfit changes. So I'll have all these different pictures that she can take. So I'll list each video. Like, let's just say I did, 4 videos in this outfit and 4 in this and 4 that. So she kind of knows my script, the name of the video, and what I wore. And Diamond sends it to our marketing department, and they create thumbnails to match the videos. And then we get all that to a person that posts all my stuff for me.
Love it.
So then they drop it all on YouTube, and then she has enough to pull from for about a month and a half to do my online social, which is like my LinkedIn videos that you probably see, Scott, and they're on Facebook as well. But then we also, my marketing department will pull those. We'll tell them what video we want this week, the script, what we want it to say, the caption. And then we just rotate 3 a month, 3 out every week. The email that goes out through the CRM will have 3 videos on it, and we rotate this week's to here, and then this one goes here, and that happens for 3 weeks. So the same video will be on there every 3 weeks with a new one popping in at the top.
Beautiful, 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 awesome.
I actually copied Kelly Zitlow on that because she does that.
Okay.
And I love that. So I just caught the 3, sending them out. So I thought, I love that idea. So I kind of copied that.
Love it. Stephen Q, he's like, can you give us a general overview of your MSA setup? I don't know if you probably can't talk team split and stuff like that, but like an overview, basic overview of what that looks like. Or would you do that again? Is that
Colorado's so dry. We have to drink so much water out here.
It's so bad.
Okay, so would I do it again? Yes, it's my favorite thing that I do. I don't think it's for everybody, and I don't think every brokerage deserves an MSA. In my situation, I was already working with these agents for quite a long time. I already know I loved them. I was aligned with their philosophy, the way that they do business. I felt like I didn't want to lose, yes, they could have brought someone in. Would I still have gotten business from some of the agents I already worked with? Probably. But for me, the ability to go deep with a group of agents and an broker owner who I really like in terms of like relationship wise, the ability to be in front of them multiple times a month was worth it to me. Their volume made it make sense. And every one of those has to be evaluated. They go through, there's a thing called, I think it's called MSA Link or something. There's a behind the scenes thing that they have to go through and be vetted legally so that, you can see their value and make sure you're not paying too much and all those things. But what I love about it is what I just said. I get to go deeper. I get to create friendships, relationships. I get to coach. I'm the person they look to, text. I don't get every deal from every agent, and that's okay. But there's a lot of realtors that maybe wouldn't have worked with me in the beginning that over time, I'm constantly in front of them, showing my expertise, speaking on my knowledge, which creates a comfort level, and they might reach out to me on a deal that I don't even have when they need help, and then I can help them, and then I might get that future deal. So there's been a lot of that. I also get to they do a program called Thrive. So every new agent that comes in, whether they're brand new or they're new to the brokerage, does a 12-week program, and I get to teach a few of those modules as well. So the setup is that, so I'm going to give Cindy Ertman a shout out on this. I was coaching with her at the time, and this is going back about 4 years ago. And this is when the market first started like trailing off and people were getting slower. And I had this opportunity and I ran it by her. And I knew that she was a good person to ask because she built her whole business as an in-house lender way before that was even a thing. 20 some years ago in Manhattan Beach, that's what she did. And she gave me so many great pointers. She said, I would absolutely do it because the market is shifting. You're going to want realtors in your back pocket. We're going away from consumer direct because we were getting away from the refi boom and all those things. So the timing was perfect. It was really a God thing for me. It landed in my lap. But she really helped me set it up so I didn't blow the opportunity. She's like, listen, they will drain you dry. They will suck you dry. They will ask you to do every little thing, every broker open, every open house. They're going to want you to be there all the time, all the things. Don't do that. She's like, here's what you need to do. Do the things you're great at. Teach classes, coach them, do broker opens for the best agents that use you. You're not an open checkbook. You only work with people that it's a reciprocal relationship and that they give you the opportunity to be in front of clients and they tee you up and they talk great about you and all those things. And then, you don't need to be in their office every day. And my broker owner, the broker owner wanted me to sit in that office and have like an office in the office. And I'm like, I started doing that. I did it for about a month and I'm like, this is a waste. Like nobody's coming in the office. I need to be in my office. That's where I can crush it. I can still take calls, emails, texts, all the things. So I just set it up so it works for me. And I love it. Yeah, I think it's a really great thing if you set it up where they're not bleeding you dry,
Love it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Life-giving. Like don't ever, I tell every new loan officer or even loan officers that have been doing it forever and they're struggling. I'm like, listen, you don't have to work with everybody. Not everyone's your person. And that's okay. Find your people, find the people you love, that you enjoy, that bring you joy, that it's life-giving. If the phone rings and you look at it and you're like, oh my God, I do not want to answer this call. Or they're so rude. Or they're, all they do is take, and they're bullying you. Don't work with them. Don't work with them. You don't have to.
Yeah, too short. Life's too short.
Yeah, there's plenty of great realtors out there. For lenders that are like, I hate realtors. You hear that.
I know.
You know what? There's amazing realtors out there. There's some amazing realtors. Work with them. Work with the people you love.
Great advice. And Steven's like, great info. What's we're coming up on the bottom of the hour. What's next for Michelle? I know you're transitioning and doing some stuff and you're doing your thing. Is there anything big coming up you want to share?
I mean, it's really busy right now for me. I really wanted to go to that Ford event that just happened in Vegas. I love Neil. I love his event. And I did go the last several years. I'm really too busy, right? I was too busy to go. And I know that sounds stupid. A lot of people would say, well, you need to prioritize your time or why, make time for those things. And I agree. Like you need to fill your cup. You need to build those tools and all those things. But where I'm at right now is I know all that shit. Like I know it. I know what I need to do. I've been doing it for 30. I know what to do. You just got to do it. I don't need one more person to tell me what to do, right? Like I know what to do. I'm really busy right now. I just need to double down because we're at a place where we're like peaking up to maybe 20 loans a month. We're not quite there. Like I had 17 for July. And so,
cool.
Yeah, so I know what I need to do. I'm really busy. I really need to this is a great time. You should quarterly realign your systems, figure out your team. So we're kind of at that point where I might need to add another person, but I'm not quite ready. So that would be the next thing probably for us is maybe just another person to help with those incoming deals, helping structure, that kind of thing. I would like to do more classes through the title company, get a little more in front of more agents, more realtors that aren't my MSA. And I want to do some sort of online courses. Like I'm trying to create some online courses for agents and for loan officers.
CE or just courses?
What's that?
CE courses or just
courses?
I mean,
we had some CE. We were doing a lot of CE maybe 3-4 years ago. So I want to create some more CE courses for realtors, but not necessarily online. More, I like those for in person. We were doing those online during the pandemic. And I don't love that. I'll be honest. I like the in person. I would rather have 7 people in person in a room than 30 people online. That's just my personal belief. I know for some people that works great, but for me, when I'm in front of you, you're gonna work with me. That's just the way it is. Like that's just how it is.
Let's go.
That's my superpower for real. So but the courses online, I was working with a good friend of mine, Rosemary Voshell. We used to work at Nova together. She's actually still at Nova. But she and I were working on co-creating these courses for loan officers for this very reason, to help them like build their business. You know, when you said, if I dropped you in the middle of nowhere and like, how would you build your business? My number one advice to new agents or agents trying to build their businesses, don't be afraid of social, but also join groups, get in networking groups. That's another big thing. I'm in 3 networking groups. Speak a lot, speak to everybody as much as you can get out there, you know, speak at the Rotary, speak at the Kiwanis, speak at whatever, just speak at networking groups, get into women's groups or men's groups, you know, do what you love to do. If you're into biking, get into a mountain biking group, get into a skiing group, get into a knitting group. I don't care. Get in front of people, build your network, and then use your CRM. Your CRM is your number one, you know, it's your set it and forget it, and then send stuff out that matters. Create great content that converts, not dumb content that everybody has.
Love it, love it, love it. Unbelievable. Thank you. Thank you so much. I had no idea you were doing all of this, so it's no wonder you're doing so well. Congratulations on that. I do have some ideas for you that we can talk offline for you. So that might help you out. So that you
you know, for us, like we are licensed in all the states through the bank, so that's been really cool for me because I usually have loans in every state every month for some reason or another. Cool. But learn your guidelines because there's so many great non-QM programs. There's so many great loopholes on deals that are just conforming that people miss out on because they don't know the guidelines. And I feel like that's a great way to get an extra deal or 2 a month is if you know what you're doing.
Todd's asking, and we had Lynn on last week, how much do you do or anything at all with your CDLP?
What was that?
The CDLP. Do you do anything with your CDLP? Do you have your CDLP for divorce?
Yes, I do. And how much do I do with it? It sounded like you were saying CEOP. That's why I didn't know. CDLP. Sorry, CDLP. Yeah, I do have my CDLP, and I do a lot of divorce lending. I used to create a lot of videos on it. You know, I have a love-hate with the divorce lending. I love it because I love to help people, and I want to help people who feel lost and they don't know what to do and where to go with it. I do need you got to know those guidelines. There are some loopholes. The reason I don't always love it is you will work on those deals. That's a suck you dry sector. I'm telling you right now, you will work on those deals for months and months and months and months and sometimes a year, and they will call you constantly and you become a therapist, and you can really get lost in that. So you have got to have your bumpers and your guidelines up there. You know, you've got to have your, control that because it will become, and you can really get emotionally involved, and you've got to remember, like, you're not the therapist. So just stick in your zone. Say, you know, you got to remember, like, all you're there is to help them get the financial piece done, to know what the guidelines are and help them there. And I've done tons of divorce lending, and I do love it. Like I said, and there's been some amazing moments for it, but I've also worked on
your body language is not showing. Your body language is not showing us that.
I know, because I'm going to tell you, I've had deals where, like, I worked on one in California, and I love this lady. I worked on it for over a year. We finally got it to closing. The ex was supposed to sign the quick claim. We closed the deal. It was a $600,000 deal in California. Her mom gave a gift to help make it work because the payoff was bigger and all the things. And he freaking wouldn't sign the quick claim. He wouldn't sign it. the deal blew up. She had to take him back to court. So it was like a year down the drain, you know, and granted, she's sent me a couple referrals since. And so that was great. And I know I helped her emotionally, but you know, they can be a lot of work, but I still love it. I still do them. I do them. I've got a couple of mediators that send me deals. You just have to be careful. I'm going to tell you, be careful, because you can really spend a lot of energy and
protect your time. Difficult. Yeah, protect your time. Yeah, good deal. All right, Michelle, thank you so much, my friend. You're awesome, amazing. Congratulations. We'll catch up offline, and maybe like when I'm out in Colorado, maybe if I have time, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. And
yeah,
if anybody has any questions, you guys can always, anybody can
be careful.
Go on.
Be careful. Be careful.
Yeah, Instagram. No, it's okay. I'm fine with that. Instagram, DM me with a question, text, email, whatever.
Awesome. All right, Michelle. Thank you so much, my friend. All right, guys. Same time, same place tomorrow. Wade Betts is in the house, so he's going to be here. Over 800 million. Thanks, Michelle. Take care. Have a good day.
Okay. Do you just cut me off, or how do I get off?
No, yeah, I'll kill it. I'll kill it here in a minute. I like to end with some music. So
bye, guys. Thank you.